Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Vanzan, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, and welcome to BKS1 Radio, the Owl Show.
Yes.
Your girls are back in the building.
In
It
the
is
building.
Latoya Chanel, and of course, Miss Queen Bee is in the building
We're
right
here.
now. It is a glorious Tuesday. Y'all see all the energy I got when I was literally just asleep all of 7 minutes ago.
Okay.
And we'll be asleep 7 minutes after the show. But in the meantime, while I'm in the building, I'm going to be high energy because that's what we need to be for this show, just to make sure, y'all are paying attention, y'all are listening to whatever it is we decide to talk about. But Miss Queen Bee, how are you today? We not going to do that today. Miss
I'm all right.
You all right?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm coming down to the last days of Ramadan,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm extra grateful because some things that I prayed for definitely came to pass already.
Okay.
I heard two things that I prayed for
Okay.
that came to pass, so I'm super
right.
excited about what God is about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you push back from your plate, I am looking down because I'm sharing my show.
Okay.
But I am super elated because a lot of times you hear God more clear
Yes.
when you push your plate back and pay attention, and you're more silent and you go into your word. So I'm grateful for the things that God did show me while I was in Ramadan this time, and I'm
Okay.
looking forward to it.
Okay.
Again.
Looking forward to Eid.
Yes, I'm looking forward to Eid, of
Okay.
course. I don't know if I'm doing like I did big last year.
Yes,
were
you
there,
did.
but I don't know about that
Because
this
I
year.
covered last year. Why is that so funny?
Because y'all did.
I did.
Y'all
I
are
covered
the
last
worst.
year for Eid.
You and Mimi.
Even though I'm not Muslim, out of respect. You know why? Because your father was there.
Yes, he was.
Your father was going to be in attendance, and I
He
didn't
was
want to be.
there.
I didn't want to be disrespectful, so I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know
but
what?
he's good.
Let me make sure I cover. For
But my
this
stepmom
event.
covered for like, I want to say like 40 years, so she stopped covering.
Yeah.
Yeah, she covered every day for 40 years, so she's
Mm.
like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. No.
So
Okay.
what else I want to talk about? So yes, so I'm grateful for that. And then there's a national holiday
Yep.
on Tuesday. There's a national holiday.
What's the next Tuesday? It's
Next
a national
Tuesday.
holiday.
It's a national
wait.
holiday.
Before we get to next Tuesday's national
Right.
holiday, can we just bring everybody up to speed with what's been going on? Because we were
Sure.
not in the studio last week, and we were not in the studio last week because
Why wasn't we in the studio?
because
last
you had a
week?
speaking engagement. Oh
Yes.
my God, girl!
Amnesia. Yes, so I had a speaking engagement, which was great. It was
At a university.
Right, it was at DeSales
Yes.
University by way of my cousin Shalinda,
Okay.
who
Shout out to her.
Yes, who I am super elated that she invited me to speak, and
Mm-hmm.
it was engaging. I learned a lot. I love the fact that they were able to speak back to me,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that I was able to tell my story. And one day I think I'll tell it all, but I gave them enough
Yeah.
to go on. And wanted them to know, the one thing that the crazy thing is the one message that I always want to give somebody is something that I deal with a lot is imposter syndrome. And I wanted, to make sure that I tell them that they are in spaces that they belong. And you have to keep reiterating to the kids, everything you obtain, everything you deserve that. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times we don't tell ourselves that. And then we get in these places and we self-sabotage and we lose these things. Not to go deep, but I just wanted to say that. But that was one of the things that we got to, we get these opportunities. I told them, and I don't know if you watched it yet. It's long, but I sent
The
it
whole
to you.
thing?
Yeah.
I watched the first few minutes.
Okay. So the thing is that one of the things is I always have a theme song, regardless of what I'm going through. I have a theme song. When I was in nursing school, my theme song was it was One Shot by Eminem, and he's like, no, Lose Yourself. I'm sorry, by Eminem. But in the song, he says you only got one shot.
Yeah.
Do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Uh-huh.
And I remember always playing that song over and over when I was in nursing school, and that is the song that got me through and gave me. Another one was Successful. Now it's a crazy song to everybody, but Successful with Drake and
I Just Want to Be Successful.
yeah, I Want to Be Successful. Those are the two songs. And one of the songs, Jeopardy, the one you don't like. I love that song. I don't know why you don't like it. What is this called?
I don't know. It's connected to something. Closer to My Dreams?
Closer to My Dreams. Those are the three songs that I could say that really got me through. And now I have, other half of my life, I have other theme songs that I listen to.
Of course.
And Cleo Soul is one of the she is just everything to me. Now she's having a concert today.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to her. I missed it because I'm here.
Tashawn just joined, but we got to talk to you, brother. Matter of fact, I'm going to be texting you right after the show. Go ahead.
And I got to make my appointment before.
She got to make her appointment, and we got to talk to you about our upcoming shows, and we got to have you in studio.
Yes.
Yeah. So
anyway, so I just want to say that you have to find a theme song.
All right.
And this is something that I play over and over and over again.
But you had a theme song for your speaking engagement, right? Your speaking engagement, which was last week while we were not.
Why are we going?
here.
Yes.
Well, because I want to go into the fact that,
you had one too.
We do, whatever. But we do so much more outside of here.
Absolutely.
Outside of the radio station, outside of, our everyday jobs. There is so much that we do outside of here and using our voices to hopefully be encouraging to other folks and especially the youth. And I'm using that as a segue for our topic for this evening. But using our voices to be encouraging for the youth and for the next generation and helping to empower those that need that, right? So that's what we do, and we've been doing that since we started our women's conference over 5-6 years ago, since we've had this platform and utilize it hopefully with the goal of changing lives or reaching someone with the things that, it is that we talk about, right? So that's why I wanted to go through that first, what you did. And then next week is a national holiday because next Tuesday is April 1st, and that is...
What?
Next week is a national holiday, April 1st, and it's a holiday because it is
my birthday.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
Oh my God.
My birthday. Okay.
You know what?
So anyway, my point is,
Daddy,
it's a national holiday for me. It's a national holiday because you wouldn't let me say it before. So it's a national holiday for me. I will be turning 46 years old. God willing.
Sound old? My bad.
I feel like we're Kevin Hart and
Don Cheadle.
I was
like, that sound old.
Did you really say that?
Yeah, that sound.
Anywho, my point is I'm going to be 46
No, that was
years
Kevin Hart
old.
was like, damn.
Yeah. Well, you did it like that. You said that sound old.
Like,
it don't. Anyway, so yes, I'm super excited about turning. Am I super excited about turning 46?
I don't know if you're
I feel
excited
like,
or
I
not.
don't know. I feel like
I'm not.
I feel like
I'm aging. I just had this conversation on the phone with Yusuf on the way here. Like, I'm aging, and I don't
feel
like
I'm
it.
the birthday Grinch now, and I'm never like that.
No, you're not. So we gotta snap you out of that.
You gotta snap me out of
Yeah,
it. But
'cause
I
we gotta
just
celebrate.
screenshot something for my two best friends that I actually.
Other than meeting Queen Latifah, I'm done. You send that to the other one, cause I'm done. I'm done.
It's
I'm
just a
done.
poetry
Nah,
event.
I'm done.
We can't
Send
go
that-
to a poetry event.
Send that to the other one. Send that to.
Anyway,
Yusuf,
so
she
let's
said
talk
she
about
wanna,
that. So let's talk about that.
I'm done.
I want to say this. If you knew me as a child growing up, you knew that let me tell you something. Poetry, everybody knows I'm into poetry. So the greats, Maya Angelou, a billion poets. I can't even list them all. But I have a billion poets to whom I loved and whom I've studied, right? But there are people that in life I've always felt connected to, and you watch them on the big screen and you're like in hopes one day that you meet them. And I've always have been in the same vicinities as her, but never in the same space as far as like when we did events. Actually, I'm lying because we went to Black Girls Rock and she was the host of Black Girls Rock that year. But we sat there. I sat not too far from her, but I didn't get a chance to say anything. But this particular day, we went to her party and I didn't know if I was going to get the chance to meet her because sometimes we go to events and then there's not always a guarantee. Queen Latifah has been, it's funny, my brother asked me, did I tell her this? Because growing up in the house with me as kids, they knew she was her Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo was here last week. I'm sorry. And they called me too. And they was like, hey, you got something for Yo-Yo to do? Oh, shoot. They called me too. They was like, hey, Toya, what you got going on? Because we want to bring Yo-Yo to because she going to be in. Go ahead. Yusuf said you were a child. That's funny. Go ahead.
I'm not going to, because there's no silence in the air, but
go ahead.
We'll talk about that behind the scenes. But anyway, so Yo-Yo and Sister Soldier, I had Queen Latifah, Miss Melody, God rest her dead. It was
Yusuf said it'd be your own people.
It'd be your own people. It'd be your own people.
Whoops.
So I did. Those are the people. Those are the greats. To a point where Queen Latifah, when she was on all the shows that she was on, but when she was on Living Single, I actually used to be like, oh, she got that on today. Let me see what I got in my closet so I can mimic that when I went to school. That's how much I, as a child emulated her. And they called her Queen. And remember, I've always called myself Queen Bee. My mom used to say, I'm the big queen and you the little Queen Bee. She used to always say that to me. So I developed that name and, and the fact that she chose Queen Latifah, that's not her biological name, but she chose Queen Latifah, and just what she stood for and has done with life, with everything she touches, acting and things like that. I would love to interview her. Of course, I got to pick her. I would love to pick her brain, but I don't know. I was in awe. Back there. And now, don't get me wrong, I got to meet a couple other people. I got to meet the whole cast of Equalizer. I got to meet what's the model? Kimora Lee. I got to meet so many people back there, and it was a good experience. But meeting her and giving her a hug and saying happy birthday was dynamic. And the fact that when I did say, she did call me beautiful, which I'll never forget. I'll never forget that.
Okay.
No, in a good way. You know what I mean? In one of those
course.
ways. That she didn't find it robbery to say that to me. But when I went to go ask her, I was like, may I have a picture? She said, of course. And I thought that was amazing because she's very, very down to earth. Now, I almost got kicked out of VIP, though. I just want to say, because I flashed the light and she didn't want the light at the time. And I was like,
it's okay.
Let me just go, we live and learn. Because now I know you don't like lights.
Yep.
But it was a breathtaking moment for me, and I'm grateful because a lot of times you are who you are because your people are who they are, and I think I'm grateful to be connected to you because I would have never probably, I mean, we would have ran into her at some point, but I don't think I would have been in that close vicinity and had that good of a night if you weren't my best friend. So, and then the fact that you made it happen, you made sure I was there on a weeknight. You made sure I was there. You made sure I didn't forget, because I did. But you made sure I didn't forget, so I'm grateful.
Right.
Why are you laughing?
Okay.
I'm grateful.
Right. Listen, that's why I said, we
I can drink now.
Hanging out with Queen Latifah. Oh, it's time now?
Yeah.
Hanging out with Queen Latifah, speaking engagements, all the things. Like I said, we do so much outside of here that we may or may not talk about, post or whatever. But I was using what you were saying about the speaking engagement and speaking to students at the university because I wanted to segue that into a conversation we were having, ironically, with Yusuf.
Okay.
Just the other night. So we were talking about our normal topic of, you know, the African American community and making sure we are getting together and creating families and, you know, and all of the things and what the breakdown is and why those things aren't happening. And then, you know, as you know, those that watch know, we have these series that we do where we speak to men and then we speak to women, which we are going to be starting back up again. And so for some of the men that we need to want to come back in studio, please let me know, because I would love to have you in, because we are going to start that again in 2 weeks, where we're going to have the gentlemen who are going to come on for a few weeks and then the ladies who are going to come on for the few weeks. And drum roll, we have another live event that is scheduled that is going to be on June 7th. Tickets will go on sale for that as of April 7th, exactly 2 months out. And when it sells out, it sells out. And I mean, you know, if you're either going to get your ticket right away or you're not, but there will be more to come for that. But in the meantime,
my poetry event.
We are having a poetry event that is going to be coming as well. And we will have more details for that coming soon too. So we have our live event coming at the same location where it was before, and we have a poetry event that's coming. But what I was saying is we are going to have the shows with the fellas coming on and the ladies coming on, just discussing the Black community and creating safe spaces to work out, you know, the issues that we have within our community. So the other night I was on the phone with Yusef and our friend Mimi, and we were talking about just different things that's going on in our community and relationships and family and all of those things. And so, hey, Shahira. And so we were talking about the concept of community, right? What exactly is community? What does that mean? When you say Black community, what does that make you think of? Yeah.
When I think Black community, I mean, honestly, in my head, I go back to the Each One Teach One.
Okay.
And I go back to when we had the village.
Okay.
That when we you know, everybody deserved this respect and wanted respect. All the neighbors and everybody knew your name and everybody knew whose child you were, and they were allowed to chastise you. Not in a beating manner, of course, but chastise you when you knew when you got home. Exactly.
Yeah.
You knew when you got home, you disappointed the neighbor, but you also disappointed your mother because the neighbor had to get on you, and the neighbor would come and tell your mom, or teachers would come and tell your mom. And I think of community like that. I think of community as far as, you know, role models and mentors and just I think of that.
Okay. And so if that is community, then how is a community created?
Well, people create a community.
How?
Got to be together to create a community.
Oh, do you? I'm so good. Is there a ding, ding, ding on here or something? Wait a minute. Let me just see if there's a... There we go. Right. So my point is you have to be together to create a community, right? So as we were talking, Mr. Green was on the phone with us, and he was saying, you know, we have community. You know, we're all friends, our children, you know, no one respect that, this or the other. So that's community. I said, Yusef, we're all friends, yes. I said, but is that community?
You chosen violence today. I see.
I said,
I see you choosing violence today.
Right. I said, but is that community though? Is that in fact community? So as we started talking, we started saying, like, okay, when you think of Black people in yesteryear, right? And what you just said about with the neighbors and your neighbor could do this and this, that, or the other, all of that was created because people still got together, right? People still got together. People still had open doors. You didn't have a home that nobody could go to, right? How do you create community if we live in a time period where, number one, you better not show up to my house? You better not show up to my house unannounced. You better not even call me, because you should probably text first. And no, I can't go to you if I need help with anything because you're going to judge me. So how do you create community in that type of societal climate? You understand what I'm saying? So one of the reasons why Black love is lost is because Black community is lost. And if you don't have Black love and you don't have Black community, you're definitely not going to have Blackonomics. You're not going to have any of those things. Why? Because we are not getting together.
Absolutely.
So it's like for all of us that sit and preach about, we should all be meeting each other, this, that, or the other, where's your community?
I agree.
And it's like, what are we doing to foster community? What are we doing to foster community?
I think we live, I don't know what happened, but we do live separate lives now.
Yes.
And I will say this, and I always
We are
use
all
this.
just individualistic and don't care about anybody else.
I use this as an example, and I say there's two things I'll say. I now have to introduce my children to cousins and to family members.
Yeah.
I never had to do that when I was a child.
Right.
I knew who
Hey,
this
Tasha,
cousin
who creates
was.
community.
I knew who this cousin was. We got together. We went to their house. We would do impromptu, and all of my cousins who are watching could tell you we did impromptu cookouts. We did impromptu. You bring the hot dog.
Why are people not coming over and you randomly frying
Nobody
chicken?
does that. And it's crazy because I love and honor my brothers because honestly, I will tell you this. We do that. My brother will call or we have a group text and my brother will be like, putting something.
Hey, Deej, hey, Jess.
Yeah, he'll be like, I'm putting something on the grill today.
Why are we not doing that?
And we literally, I come over with my kids and my food and the drinks and everything, and we bug out and laugh, and then we go home and we go whatever. No one does that anymore.
Tasha does.
We used to do
Shout
that.
out to Tasha and Lance.
We used to do that as kids. We used to do that. I remember. We used to just wait. Hold up. We did Halloween together where we would actually be like, okay, we're all going out. We're gonna leave. We're gonna get there by 7. We went to Sleepy Hollow together.
The thing is, it's not just as kids. Adults
yeah.
did this. This is how
Especially we might not be whatever now, but we did that with our kids. Me, you, like all of us.
We
did that with our kids, and I love that.
Of course we did. But my thing is, people are not doing that nowadays. People
What
are not
is that?
doing it. We don't have community.
But what happened?
Oh, we started making more money.
Okay. And what does that mean?
This one can't come to my house.
Oh,
this
yeah.
one can't. Well, I'm not struggling no more, so I don't really need your help for this, that, or the other. And you better not go to your neighbor's house and borrow sugar or borrow some egg. Well, we probably all could borrow eggs now, but you better not go to your neighbor's house and borrow sugar or borrow eggs because they're going to sit around judging you. Like, wasn't she just on social media looking good? Wasn't she just on vacation and now she need eggs today and now she needs sugar today? She got a weave in her hair, but she don't got money to buy sugar, eggs. So you better not do no stuff like this now because, you're going to be judged. And the fact of the matter is that the less we had, the more community we have. But now that we have so much more, community has become less. Not only that.
I agree.
Not only that, but I feel like don't nobody want nobody in their business. In order to have community, like you said, you were able to discipline somebody else's children, right? You were able to say something to somebody else's brother, somebody else's sister, like husbands, wives, different things you were able to speak on because as a part of community, like there were certain aspects of people's business.
But I'm going to be able to say this. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never have to hide anything about my children when it comes to you.
No.
Never.
No.
Such and such did this.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm about to go off of a ledge because this happened here.
Yeah.
Zion having a kid first. I didn't have to hide that in secret. Hey, Toya. And then what did you say to me? It was going to be one of us. We got the oldest kids. It was going to be one of us. We didn't know which one, but we knew it was going to be one of us.
Right.
I will tell you, I am not that comfortable with everybody because they're judgmental people, and they may be your friends and family.
Khadijah said, "Too many people come empty." What'd she say? Too many people come empty-handed and leave belly stuffed.
You right about that.
Here's my thing,
but I don't care about that.
Right. My thing is, community has been completely lost. It's lost. It's gone. We all go home to our lives, our separate lives, our individual lives. We're watching what people are doing on social media, and then we're sitting back complaining about what's not happening. and then we are not creating the space for those things to happen. There's a problem here. There is a breakdown in all of that here. And it's something that we need to do. It's something that individually there's like accountability and responsibility. So the conversation goes on. Again, Yusef, you can chime in because it was us having this. It was us having this conversation. And I said to Yusef, Yusef, what are we doing individually on this phone? What are we doing to create these communal spaces where people feel comfortable coming, right? And so I said to him, we created these live shows. We created these live shows from the radio station here. So having this platform has allowed us to open up spaces to have conversations like this, where people can start coming back together, where we can start communing with one another, breaking bread with one another, having open dialogue with one another. And so that's what I was saying to Yusef. I said, Yusef, one of the reasons why I create these live shows is for people to come together.
Yeah.
Because y'all watch us on Tuesday nights. So I could easily say, well, we doing our part. We having the tough conversations that the community doesn't have. Right. But we have taken it a step further, and we have these live events so that there is a gathering. So we're not forsaking the gathering portion of us actually coming together. Because when you come together, it's like, this is how people are having conversations, and you take those conversations back with you to better our community.
So I agree with the bettering, but also there is I am very now intentional about conversation, right? Very intentional about conversation, very intentional about gaining something. We have, me and you, we have our fun times, we have our laughing times, whatever, but there are times when we build. There's a lot of times that we build and we take wisdom and we talk about conversations that are hard, and we talk about conversations that, are not so easy, I'll say. Yeah. And we build from there. But we look at other people's perspectives. I want everybody to understand that, because they think that me and you think our way and our way. And when somebody introduces a thought to us that we don't, we don't dissect that, which we do.
Of course.
A lot of times people don't do community because they don't want to hear certain things.
They're closed off.
I'll say that. But they don't want to hear certain things. Certain things.
I'm closed off to anything that's not what I'm thinking or how I'm thinking, right? And it's like, again, and then we all sit in our separate spaces and complain about what's going on in the world, what's going on in society. Oh, why are men like this? Oh, why are women like that? And then you do that in your little individual spaces, and it's like, how are you finding any solutions being an individual over there in your space? You're not.
I know.
You're never going to find any solutions to whatever our bigger problem as a people is, as long as you're silent.
And I know you give the cookouts, and TT and Boo Boo and all them don't bring anything, and they just come. They do. They just come, and they take plates home, and they got your plates and all that other stuff.
I get that. Do that.
That's just them. They don't mean no harm.
But I expect that. That is why when I have events, I don't ask anybody to bring anything. Like, don't.
Yeah, I do that too.
If I say I'm having something, and me and Tasha, who's watching now, have had this conversation, and me and Mimi have this conversation. If I say I'm having something, that means I'm having something.
That's how I am.
That means I can afford to have something, no matter if 2 people come, no matter if 200 people come, no matter if Boo Boo come with they cousin and y'all start taking plates. Now, listen, now.
Bring people.
Y'all start taking a bunch of plates all extra early, and you know what I mean, and we're going to have a problem. Like, go somewhere and sit down and stop being greedy and stop being nasty. But at the same time, it's like, you don't have to bring anything if you're coming to my house, right? But that's just me. That's just how I operate. And like I said, I've had this conversation with Tasha. I've had this conversation with, Mimi. But again, no, you can't walk in the door and start making your plates and take them to the car and still continue to eat plates the whole time you're there. No, you can't do that. Like, at that point, you in violation, and you might not be able to come back.
You in violation, but that's also, come on.
You expect it, because some are going to do it, but you might not be able to come back. But in the meantime, thank you, Jason. Jason said my food be banging too. Thank you, Jason. But in the meantime, though, what are we doing, right? So all of us that are in this conversation, because this was a conversation, like I said, I was having with Yusef, what are we doing to create community besides complaining?
You're right. You're right.
What are we doing? Again, you and I create this live show space where people come together, but for the masses and for the most part, what are you doing to create community? We talk about how men are not the same as they used to be. We talk about how women are not the same as they used to be, but we continue to forsake the gathering.
We do.
And that is the space where relationships are fortified. That is the space where trust is fortified. That is the space where dreams are realized or actualized.
Backyards.
That is
Yeah.
that is the space.
No, I'm serious.
That is the space. That is the space where grandma and great grandma and all that, it was when they came together. It was when they came together. That's where all the big dreams came together. That is when all the businesses and whatever that was started. That is where people met. That is how a lot of people got married. Do you understand the statistic now? The statistic now of how people get together and get in relationships is based off of the internet, who you meet online. But back in the day, you met people through friends.
Yes.
Everybody met somebody through a friend.
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh, I met blah 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 at blah blah blah
party
cookout at the party at the cookout at the da 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 at the this at the that, and you wondering why all of us are kissing 50.
Yes.
Still single. There's no community.
There's no community. It's a oh God.
There's no close knit community. That is a problem. So again,
because I used to go to the cookouts with my
I hate you
my
because you about to say something crazy stuff.
Nah, I'm trying to. I used to go to the cookouts with my cross color outfits on.
I hate you.
With my one sock one color, one sock the other, and we got in that basement, and we just we was just doing stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you, real transparent. I feel like I didn't drink, but I think my brothers and my cousins went to the liquor store when we were younger. I'm telling now,
on y'all.
we were younger and we went, but
I
I didn't have any.
You didn't.
I know I didn't do it because I didn't
do
want
it.
my mother to be like, "Come here, Basima," and then she say, "You got liquor on your breath," and then I have to tell on all of them because I'm not going down by myself.
You're not doing it right.
I'm not going down by myself.
Right.
So to leave me out of it, I'm not going to tell on you, but I'm not going to engage.
Right.
And then we're just going to be safe that
That's
way.
it.
Y'all can do what y'all want to do. And I'm
your
sure they got
your mom is probably still watching right now.
that part.
Shout out to Miss Jerry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they was at the cookout, Mom. They was doing that. Your sons.
That was your
your
children.
sons
Yeah,
doing
they
it,
was- yeah.
but your daughter's here.
Yeah, she wasn't.
I didn't engage. But no, but I do. I always say I miss family.
Right.
It is almost like the way I feel sorry for my children because they did not have it. Like I have close cousins. I have cousins that I am close with that I will spend the night at their house. This is a funny thing. One day we were going on to a show or whatever, and we're going over to my cousin's house, and my wife goes, "Oh, ask your cousin if we could spend the night." And I turned around and looked at her and I said,
"No,
I've never asked her to spend the night because you just spend the night.
Just do it.
You just do it. Like
you
it's
just
not.
you just stay.
It was
in.
never a thing. It was
You
like
just
for
stay
me.
in.
And then I said, I know this sounds crazy. I literally text her. I'm like, I know it sounds crazy,
but can we
spend the night? And she was like, what?
like if you
so
stay,
then my
you
other cousin's
staying.
like, you just spend the night. Like you don't.
If you there, you get a blanket.
You get a blanket. You get to pull out whatever, and you go and you wake up in the morning and you eat whatever food you didn't eat last night.
That's it.
So I just say that to say.
And that's what it is. It's cousins, it's friends, it's males,
it's friends,
it's females.
because it's family.
It is what it is. Like I said, shout out to Tasha, who I said this to her before, and so I'm just saying it publicly now. I don't, and I said it before, and I'm sure they realize it. I don't know if her husband realized that the gatherings at their house, the conversations we have at their house, and the open space that they create at their house really is what is missing from our generation of folks. And it's like the work that they do, obviously they don't feel like it's work because they just have people over literally probably 7 days a week. But that's work. What I'm saying is you are working on bettering us as a people just by opening up your home unapologetically and without judgment the way that they do. And everybody's going to come over. We're going to chill out. We're going to listen to music. We're going to sit on the patio. We're going to have a drink. If you fall asleep, you fall asleep. Oh, well.
People done put blankets on me at day places.
Listen, lock up and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like the what that is, like Tasha said, is how we grew up. That's exactly how we grew up. That's exactly how we grew up. We lost that.
We lost that. But the crazy thing is I had my friends and cousins' kids at my house spending the night with me. You know what I'm saying? Cooking breakfast for them, doing stuff like that, playing with them, playing hide and seek, doing all types of stuff. I grew up like that, and I raised them like that, and that's why hey, I want your kid to come over. We're going to take the kids to the whatever. Don't know. Do you got to bring money? No, you don't got to bring no money. I'm good.
Yeah.
Now, if I needed something, I'll be like, let me get $20. Other than that, thankfully, I'm blessed that I could take a kid. When I take a kid, they don't need to bring anything. It's like an extra, like my wife said, it's an extra piece of chicken. We're good. Right. And then we're going to find you something to wear.
Listen,
we're gonna find
if you need something to wear, if you need something to eat, we don't have open doors anymore.
We don't.
And
your house was like that.
My house was like
your
that.
house was very much like that. My mom's house was very much like that.
Your mother's house was
still.
Like that.
People just they know where my mom live, and I'd be like,
just show up.
Remember during the pandemic, I used to have to tell people, please don't go to my mother's house,
right?
Because I cannot have her having COVID, right? I need y'all to stay. I know you want to visit Aunt Jerky, but I need y'all to stay away from her. Because I need her healthy and safe, but everybody does. And shout out to the people that do. They still go visit my mom.
Our house.
They still bring my mom stuff. They still like all of those people that just stop by.
They just stop by. You stop by, and there's no phone call ahead of time. It's like, who is that in the drum? I mean, you know, we got Ring cameras now, but you know, it's like, who is that in the drum? Yes, like, okay, oh, that's so and so. All right, whatever. And you just come in, like it is what it is, right? And that's how we were raised. And I raised my children like that, so their friends still do the same thing. There's plenty of times I'll wake up and it's children sleep, and I'm like, well, who is that? Oh, okay, all right, whatever. But that's just how we were raised. My point is, it created community. It created a safe space. Yeah. It created outlets for people. It created an air of trust, because one thing we have in the Black community is a lot of mistrust and a lot of distrust. We don't trust each other. Men don't trust the women. Women don't trust the men. True. Kids don't trust the adults.
That's
the
true.
Adults don't trust the kids.
Yeah.
Like, and it's in all
You're
directions.
Right.
No one trusts each other anymore. No one feels like they can be themselves with each other anymore. And it's because we're not creating safe enough spaces where people can be open and be who they are.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's a problem. And then we sit around and we talk about why people aren't getting together, why men are like this, why women are like that, why families are like that, or why families are virtually extinct. And it's like, of course, there are a number of reasons why, but you know, this is part of the problem. And part of the problem is because we are not getting together anymore. We are not just sitting back peacefully.
I want to read some comments.
I
want to read some comments.
Okay. We're not sitting back peacefully having conversations about life, about what's next.
So, hey, Burnell, shout out to you.
Hey, Burnell.
We know you are the community, so we know
Burnell?
exactly what you do. But I'm working on a camping trip for Plainfield kids as we speak. I would love to work with anyone to set an outing for the community. And Burnell, get at us with that one, because I like to give back in so many ways.
Absolutely.
People were detached before the pandemic. Pandemic just put a turbo booster on it. That's what Yusuf said. Mom, Jessica said, yeah, because Miss Jerry don't play. We was all scared. Yes, she didn't play.
She didn't.
But she fed you if you wanted it.
Yep.
Give all the kids ices, all types of stuff.
Yep.
Tasha said it's how we grew up. So Denise said that was my family culture, having parties, house parties, etc. Norm, hey Norm. He said Eminem's best song motivates me. Tasha, we have to get back to the community. back to this. We need community.
We need
we
it.
We can't survive without it.
No.
Shout out to my mother. If you were hungry, she fed you. If you needed to lay your head, she made accommodations.
Yeah.
Jessica said, yes, my kids' close friends are my kids, and we all know this. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I've done the same for my children's friends. Yusef, we know you have as well.
Yes.
We know you have as well because you gave us some gems too. About raising kids and boys and girls and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Tasha, you have to watch who you marry or choose for a partner. Some folks do not want their spouses. Ooh.
Tasha, you going to start right now?
Let me tell you.
No. Finish reading the comment. Finish reading the comment.
Shots
Tasha,
fired.
we got to go into it. Go
you
ahead.
have to watch who you marry or choose for a partner. Some folks do not want their spouses, family, and friends nowhere near their homes. And Jessica said, absolutely. Let me tell you something.
Ooh.
Is that not a word? Tasha, you don't open up something.
Go ahead.
Let me
sis.
tell you.
Let me start.
No, because you do have to be careful who you marry and they share the same vision. I love the fact that my wife is an aunt, right? She was an aunt. She knew what it was to kids. If kids spend the night right now, her kid, your kid done spend the night. Taylor done spent the night. All of them, they done all spent the night with nothing, and we love it. And I'm like, all I do is come on, check on them, make sure anybody need blankets, anything, y'all good, y'all don't need to leave, and I love that. But you are absolutely right when you said be careful of who you marry, because if y'all don't share the same vision, if y'all do not share the same vision as how close you are with your family,
boom.
What you did before them, how you're the glue in the family. If you do not,
wait, how about I'm just not even comfortable with you being around other people?
Yes. Yes.
Can we talk about that?
Let me tell you, Tasha.
Can we talk about that?
Let me tell you, Tasha, that is the absolute truth. Where they pull you away from your family, and I've gone through this before, where they pull you away from your family, and you are no longer what you were or designed in your family, and you don't really see it until you like, dang, such and such grew up. Well, you ain't been around them in 3 years because the last time you got married, you can't spend no time.
I did a 3-year bid with somebody recently, right?
Yes, you did.
And
that was a bid.
I did a 3-year bid with somebody recently, right? And during said time period, now I continue to do that stuff because I'm just, you're not going to stop me from anyway. But during said bid, there were a number of conversations about
I was privy to one.
About how they didn't grow up like this. And so this is not something they know. This is not something they're used to, which is all fine, right?
That's great.
But here's the twist. LaToya, why do you have to keep being the person that has to do all of this stuff? Why do you want to have people around all the time? Why do you have to be the host? Why does it have to be you? Why do you got to do this? I didn't grow up like this. I didn't need this. So why do you need this? Why do you know? But
you grew up in a household that did. You didn't start this.
No,
this was before you.
This is ingrained, and because my children are grown, this is ingrained in them as well. So in choosing a partner, in choosing a mate, in choosing a spouse, you absolutely have to make sure y'all are on the same page with that, because you will be with a spouse or a partner that will try to pull that from you if this is what you're used to, or if this is what you need, or
I was done. No, because Chanel, you know what I don't understand? Ooh. How did you think? Because our kids are each other's kids. You could not, I didn't hear nothing after that. You cannot show up to this is everybody say, oh, that's your best friend. No, this is my sister. I didn't have sisters growing up. This is I'm talking about, yes, wear the jewelry. I need those earrings. What scent you got on? I'm going to go in your perfume, man. I will lay on your bed, your couch, whatever. I go downstairs. I give me something to eat. You teaching me to cook in that same kitchen. I'm talking about, my kids coming over without me. And to your house, in the pool.
Well, we support each other's children. So,
all I'm saying is what got me
Auntie,
is the fact
I need $100.
we don't know different. Right. And you thought You thought that.
Well, okay, so basically what Queen B is saying, because we transparent on the show, is during this 3-year bid, said person I was with did not want me to go to her son's baby shower. They
I don't know what he thought.
And I was like, okay,
I don't know what
well,
he thought.
I don't know what he
thought.
I
That
don't-
wasn't even an option.
I don't even understand.
What would she would have told me? What would she would have told me?
There would have been nothing to tell
I'm just
you.
saying,
because
what would you would have told me if you didn't like?
Because I'm doing a bid, so I can't come.
It would have been like, nah. Now,
doing a bid,
look,
so I
if you
can't
had,
come?
listen, if
Or-
you had legit, like, you know,
no.
your mom sick or something like that, or
Somebody would have
you
came and watched
sick,
my mother so that
or
I
you
could have
would've-
came
like,
to the
I'm
baby
just trying
shower.
to give you
Like,
scenarios of
there,
how,
there,
what
but
would've
there
gave
is
you
no,
the out.
but there is no scenario. There is
What-
no scenario.
I'm just trying to figure out like what would have gave you the out, but not to show up because he didn't.
Because he didn't want me to be there. He didn't. Why you got to be there around all those people? My point is, Tasha.
You gotta be.
My point is,
You gotta be like you have no. Let me tell you
Tasha.
something. You gotta like, but that's just not.
Listen,
hold up. But hold
listen.
up. It wasn't just. Hear me. So that's we talking about my son, but we talking about friendships too. Like you were close with us, right? So we talking about friendships too, and this is where the community stops.
Yeah, that is where
If you let it.
If you let it.
If you let it, Tasha, thank you for that.
No. Choose your partner.
Choose
wisely.
your partner because
wait,
they gotta know what you did before. They gotta know what you
according
mean.
to your values.
Yes.
According to what it is that you value.
This is what I
if
value.
you
my
value
family.
if
Everybody
you
know
value
me.
friendship, if you value Shahira, you was around, you saw him. You know, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Everybody don't make the best decisions all the time. Sometimes people stick around longer than they supposed to. And
It was the pandemic.
We make mistakes. You know, it's pandemic.
It was the pandemic.
I
Forgive
am
her,
not
y'all.
above making
Forgive
mistakes.
her.
Yeah. I forget. Y'all forgive me. I'm forgiving myself for that. You know, it is what it
Forgive
is.
yourself, sis.
You know,
Forgive you first.
Right.
But we forgive you.
Some people shouldn't have been there. You know, it is what it is. But my point
And we don't even know how they lasted that long. But hey,
pandemic.
Hey,
The pandemic.
The pandemic.
Pandemic pushed people together. Anyway.
So chemistry,
It's-
Yusef said chemistry is needed, but alignment is most
It's
paramount.
most paramount,
I
yes.
think if you absolutely, Yusef,
Chemistry is not. Chemistry will fade.
Katara said, "Love makes you blind." Hey, sis.
No, it wasn't that, Katara.
What was it?
Katara wasn't that. Katara, it wasn't that. I don't want to be on here because you know what? My next person I might be would be like, oh, so if we break up, she gonna say everything about me. So I don't want to go into details publicly with everybody about that relationship.
Tara,
But
I'm
I
talking
will
about,
say that we
I
all
thought she
make
had-
mistakes.
so blind that I thought she had cataract.
Listen, I wasn't
go,
blind.
go.
It's we all make mistakes, people. Like it is
Look,
what it is.
Shahira said, "We forgive you, sister." Tara, do you
Thank
forgive
you.
her? We
Thank
forgive
you.
you.
Thank you,
We
Shahira.
forgive you.
Thank
we
you.
knew when Mufid was about to go up.
Listen.
We
Y'all,
knew he wasn't for
hopefully
you.
y'all can forgive me as I have forgiven myself.
You had to forgive you first, sis.
For that.
You had to forgive it, and then you come back to us, and we know.
Listen.
We know we love you. See,
Listen,
let me tell you, but we are the
listen.
type of friends. We are the type of friends that we love you through this.
Right. Wait. I didn't lose friends because of it, right?
Yes.
I didn't lose friends because of my bad choices. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But no, what Tasha is saying and what Yusef is saying.
Katara said.
What Katara say?
She said,
thank
"Thank God you found a good and goodbye." Because that's a song, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's
Beyonce.
Oh yes, yes it
Beyonce.
is.
Yeah.
I cannot. No, I'm glad too. No, seriously.
No, seriously. Yes.
Seriously.
seriously. Anyway, but at the same time, though, what I'm saying is
Toxic.
what Tasha and what Yusef are saying. It is paramount, like Yusef said. It is definitely paramount that your partner values what you value,
Yeah,
or either
absolutely.
at least respects what it is that you.
Jason said concert was
that
dope though.
concert was dope. So you had to have a fight afterwards about y'all, Jason. You already know what that fight was about.
You know what the Jason, you know what the fight
You
was
already
about.
know what the fight was about. Yusef, you already know what the fight was about. So concert
Tasha
was-
said 3 years
was
is a
dope.
long blind time though. We love you, Toya.
Listen,
we gotta tell her we
but
love
I
her.
tried. But
No.
I tried though.
No,
I
she
tried.
was holding on.
No,
for
I
dear
wasn't.
life.
No. I tried before that 3 years was up. I didn't try
You
to
tried what?
to get the nigga out.
Oh. Did you say nigga when yes, no, you did. What I'm saying was I was loving you through it. I was loving you through it until I had that conversation on our phone. We tried to do a intervention.
No, they tried.
I said we tried.
They tried, yeah.
We tried to do you walked away. You left us.
Because I knew it was useless.
Oh.
I knew what I was dealing with.
So this my thing. We walked away. We tried to do an intervention, and it was in that conversation.
But listen. This is how you know you got real friends, and this is how you know you got real sisters. Hey, Ethan, shout out to my child who's watching. But this is how you know you got real friends, and this is how you know you got real sisters. They was like, listen, dude done been around all this time. Let's try to see if we can assist in what the issues are, and maybe we can
Because sometimes you need your friends.
Yeah,
I've reached out for lifelines.
Maybe we can help make this right. So we all got together, right? And as we all got together, they all started talking to this one on a video conference call. I got up and left the room because at the end of the day, I knew what I was dealing with, and I knew what it was.
By the time you came back, my wife, our other best friend, and me was like, no.
This ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I knew from that day.
I knew that
it was over.
Yeah. And
it was over.
I had been trying to, what I'm saying? Anyway, Yusef and Jason having a whole back and forth in the comments because he talked about the concert was great. Yeah, the concert was great, but then when I gotta come home and argue about y'all.
Because y'all is prospects and not our close friends.
Right. Then I gotta come home. Bro. I gotta come home and argue about
y'all. Do you know how long we've known them?
Look, Norm in the comments. I gotta come home and argue about y'all. You understand
Norm
what I'm saying?
says some things can't be fixed.
Listen. My point is.
Our point. My
point is please make sure that your partner values
you just
what
said it was
value.
The threads, man. The threads. Listen, this is my thing. You gotta know that when you come into the relationship, there are so many conversations, and I'll always say this. There's so many conversations that you have to lay on the line. You have to share everything. You have to know where everything is so that, and I know everybody says don't have hypothetical conversations, but sometimes they're good. Right. Sometimes they're good because you actually know.
You learn about people.
Stuff. You be like,
Now the thing is like you can't be all over emotional as a woman and be like, so if I trip today, would you go sleep with the neighbor? Like you can't be doing no foolishness and foolery that.
I've had hypotheticals. I've had hypotheticals where I'll be like, all right, if I die.
You did.
Would you be with somebody else?
But you did.
Hey.
But you
I'll
did.
be saying, like, would you be with? I'll be doing those hypotheticals.
They should be.
Because
you're dead.
All I'm saying, I'm not gonna be.
Done.
I'm not always gonna be dead. I'm gonna just tell you.
You're not gonna always be dead?
No, because I'm telling. But my friends is alive and these kids is alive, and I'm gonna tell you right now. My friends, they better slide for me. Okay, that's all I'm saying. They better slide for me.
I'm done.
They better slide for me. Okay.
I'm done.
Dawn Chantel Ruffin better not be with no one. Body else.
She better move on when you pass away.
She ain't gonna move on. Move on where?
You in the ground.
On the other side of the bed?
You in the ground.
Nah.
Listen, wait. Shantae said the phrase of the day is definitely equally
yoked. Why
yoked.
did Jason say we ain't never slow dance at granddad parties? That partner was tripping. Laugh out loud.
You right, Jason? Never.
You right.
You right, Jason? Never. But again,
Yusuf said Jason Edwards never.
Listen, but at the end of the day,
I wasn't even at the parties.
I was there.
How you get there?
My parents let me do stuff.
Yeah, mine didn't.
Look, my parents.
That's why
I was there the night that.
That's why I was. That's why in my 20s
got arrested. It wasn't Jason. It was Mike. Mike got arrested, right, y'all?
It was. Listen.
I think
did we hold up? I just want to say. I don't know if we publicly know. I want to say this. I want to say this because I don't know if we publicly did this. But shout out to Plainfield basketball.
Oh, yes.
I have got to shout them brothers out because they did their thing. And I'm so proud of the community. Let's bring that back. The community that stood by those brothers, that bought those tickets, that did all types of stuff, that actually showed them that we are there. And I mean, shout out to them that took it all the way to the end.
Well, the game. There's another game Thursday.
Listen,
Yeah.
they're there though.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're there.
So Thursday night at American Dream Mall I think that is the last game. So for all those who are going out on Thursday night,
I don't even care if they don't
American
win. I
Dream
want them to win,
Mall.
of course.
Of course.
But I don't care if they don't win. Them brothers did their thing. The one thing I want to say is I think one of the kids I saw, one of the kids got named.
Jason,
one of the kids got named the something athlete. The news came and gave him his award. I believe it is the girl we went to high school with. She went to the prom with Dorian. What's her name?
Aisha.
Aisha. Yes, Aisha. What? Chanel? We talking about community. She's married now.
She is.
Yes. Yeah, she went to the prom. And she tried to make me
Jason in the comments about to get started.
She tried
you over here.
She
about
tried
to,
to make me.
Is the show about to end? How much
It's
time
5
we
minutes.
got left?
5
We got
minutes.
5 minutes.
Wait,
left.
listen, the show ain't going to end.
See,
But
Jason,
listen.
do you see Jason's comments?
Wait,
See,
I
this is
had
what
to
I'm
get out of
talking-
it
this is what
because
I'm
I'm trying to
talking
shout
about. Like,
out.
Y'all starting to act up.
I'm
Y'all
trying to
starting
shout
act up, so
out
we gotta go.
Aisha.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Aisha.
Y'all starting to act up.
How you spell her name? Aisha.
I don't know. I don't know.
No. Oh
All right,
my
so
God,
Tasha-
he got named
Hines.
Is that her last? No, but that was her married. That's not her married.
I don't know what her married name is.
All right then.
Mm-mm.
Anyway.
Y'all starting to act up.
All right. What I want to say is.
Yeah.
Oh, is that her?
Oh my God. Here we go.
Yes. Here we go. It's Jersey Sports Zone naming him the Player of the Year. So shout out to Najai. And he is the Player of the Year. We are super excited about that. And he did so good. And shout out to him being in Plainfield and making Plainfield great. This was so good to watch.
Yes.
Them come in, and you could tell he's a very humble young man when he came with the coach, and they came with their little everything. He was just really, really shy and like, oh my God. But shout out to him.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
Plainfield. That was nice. That was nice. Yep.
Aisha Hines. Yes. She went to the prom.
All right.
And she tried to what I'm saying is she tried to make me tried to make me jealous, and I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Because, at the time, I had Odie, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't jealous. It was senior year. 97 was a great year.
Yes, it was.
It was a great year. It was a great year.
You just here we go.
But she went to the prom with him.
Here we go.
And she thought, it's funny because she always wanted to talk about the prom when I came to lunch, and I was trying to figure out, like, I'm not a jealous girl, so you had him at the prom, but she's married now with children and grandchildren. Bless her heart. Yes, baby Shaq, Tasha. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, right. I'm glad he was at the lunch because he didn't cut lunch. He was there. But at that party.
Is the show over? Wait.
No. Anyway, community. But I want to get back to that because we did. I missed that. I really do.
Khadijah, you see Khadijah like
what? What,
Khadijah?
Because she was at the prom with him.
Deej, please.
Shout out to her.
Deej,
but I gotta tell y'all the full story another time.
Yeah, no.
You want me to tell y'all the story?
No.
No. I'm gonna tell you this real
about
quick.
Odie. Can we talk about Odie?
No. Tasha, no, because she won't let me get this off my chest. What happened was
here we go.
Dorian had said he didn't want to go.
Who was
to the
Dorian?
prom.
Your boyfriend.
He was when we was in high school.
Here we
so
go.
he had said he wanted to go to the prom. See, Tasha want to hear this. He had said I had broke up with him and I was with someone else.
Yep.
But I asked him, did he want to go to the prom together? And he said no, because he was being mean. I said, fine. So I went to the prom with my current boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And what happened was Aisha kept.
Khadijah said stop.
No. Aisha kept every time she would talk to me about the prom, talk in front of me about the prom, but I didn't care. Then he finally said, I don't want to go to the prom, but she went and got her grandma. And the grandma went and talked to his mom, and he now had to go to the prom. So he was at the limo, this, that, and the other, and he was at the prom with her. But we was in that Plainfield parking lot, and when he seen me, it was a wrap for him.
And now her son is gonna go to the
And he is at. Let me tell you something. How full circle. Alana was your date, Khadijah? We got to talk about that. We got to reminisce. We can need a reminiscing show about Plainfield. But my point is, we're all doing well.
Yes, we are.
We are all doing well. Her son is where he is.
Yes,
my
congratulations to
2
them.
and
I'm gonna
3.
just clap that up.
Oh, where they are. Shout out to Aisha. Khadijah, shut up.
Because I can't do this today. I can't. Let's just say you acting up here.
It was funny.
Jason acting up.
It's no beef. We see each other and we give each other love now. I just remember. Y'all don't remember y'all prom in 97?
Khadijah said, cut the camera. Norm.
Bring back the PHS parking. We don't got no parking lot no more?
Yes, they got the parking lot.
Oh.
Okay.
Because remember, y'all used to jump the curb, not me. Y'all used to jump the curb.
I didn't have to jump the curb because I was friends with all the security. They used to open the gate. I used to go get their keys and I used to open the gate. Right, Deej?
I didn't have to. Mia had to jump the curb, though. I don't know why.
Right, Deej? Deej, didn't they always let us out?
They let you see. I went out. I ain't have to jump the curb or whatever. But remember, I was like I was out of school at 11 o'clock.
Well, I was a fast ass, so I was already pregnant.
That's
so
sad.
the fact of the matter, and Khadijah used to take me to lunch almost every day.
Where y'all used to go to lunch at?
Wendy's.
Wendy's?
As long as I brought Mumford something back. Like, Mumford and my mother was friends. So he used to give me the key. We used to open the gate.
Coach Jones was it for
back.
me. Coach Jones was it for me.
Shout out to Coach Jones.
Shout out to Coach, because he used to be like, long as you lead the exercises, you could go.
Good night, Jeff. We got to cut the show.
You know what?
He's still a teacher? Cut.
He said,
all right, y'all. And
long as you do the exercises, you can go. I said, okay, Coach. I do the exercises. He give me pass. I get out. I go roam the building.
All right.
But look, now I'm sitting here like, Coach.
Next, he's still a teacher.
Put me in the game. He about to retire. He got to be about to retire.
Is he retiring? Is Coach Jones retiring?
Khadijah said little Ed wanted Wendy's.
All right, and
anyway, love you guys.
Yeah. All right, bye, y'all, because we can't do this no more.
Love you guys. We got a lot more stories about PHS.
Oh, listen. Next Tuesday is Queen Bee's birthday, so 9 times out of 10 we will not be here because she will be celebrating, and we'll probably all be celebrating somewhere for her birthday. So there's that. We will not have a show next Tuesday, but when we come back on April 8th,
shut up, Khadijah.
There's a couple things that's on April 8th, we're going to be starting our series again. We're going to be starting our Mars Venus series again, where we're going to have the guys who are going to be in studio with us on April 8th, and we'll do them for a few weeks, and then the ladies will come back, and we're going to have them for a few weeks. And we are having another live event, and that live event will be on June 7th. We will give you the additional details for that, but these will be the shows leading up to that event, so I just want you to know what's going on. Also, on April 8th and April 15th, after our show, Storm Norm the General will be down.
Come down with us, please.
What's the new restaurant right there on Route 22? What's the name of it? I don't know. But Tuesday nights is going to be the karaoke night at the restaurant, the one that's right there next to Chick-fil-A, y'all, right there in that parking lot. So
Shut up, you said.
So make sure,
I love Coach Jones.
We can leave the studio and then we can go, over to karaoke on Tuesday night on the 8th and on the 15th.
Yes.
So we will be back in studio. We'll be starting our series again.
So I'll be going live from my phone so y'all can see, and I'm going to sing a karaoke song.
What you singing?
I don't know yet.
Why you saying?
Because
like I was singing.
That's my singing voice.
I was just singing something on karaoke at 10 June in Newark.
I don't like people that could sing though. Like, don't come.
Millers.
Yes, thank you, Tara.
Thank you, Yusef, Tara.
So. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's Millers.
So Tuesday the 8th,
so
after our show, we're gonna leave here.
We're gonna leave here, and we're gonna go at 8. We're gonna go, and I'm gonna do karaoke, and I'm gonna light it up. But if you can sing, don't come. Don't come if you, because I don't like y'all.
Right.
I don't like the ones that can sing. That's not it. It's not it. I like the ones that get up there and they use their shower voice.
That's me.
They use their shower voice. I appreciate those people. I don't like the people. It's not fun.
Thank you, Deej.
Yeah. So we're going to sing something Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah.
Thank you, Deej. Yes. So
used to say she would be singing Petty. She'll be singing Petty. Shut up, you said. So we no. I'm gonna be singing something.
On the 8th.
On the 8th.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun.
All right, listen.
Come.
It's 8:04. We gotta go home.
Tara,
I'm
you
tired.
well,
I'm
you
going
can
to
sing
sleep.
already. That's not fun. Tara.
We going off the air. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
See y'all. Jeff cut the show off. Thank you, Jeff.